dignitaries in our audience. So actually, to my right, we have Folsom Cordova Unified School District Board President David Reed. Also joining us from the school board is Clerk Jennifer Larrett. Where are you, Jen? I can't see anything with those lines. We have board member Christopher Clark. Our superintendent, Dr. Sarah Kaligian. From the city of Folsom, we have Mayor Rosario Rodriguez. We have council member Sarah Aquino. I'm not sure if I can see out there, but I believe we also have Councilmember Anna Rohrbach. And City Manager Elaine Anderson. We're also joined by former Folsom Mayor Bob Holderness. And also Joe Gagliardi, the CEO of Choose Folsom. If I missed anybody, I apologize. But without further ado, I'd like to invite our board president, David Reed, up to the podium to say a few words.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It is a pleasure to represent the school board this evening as we recognize and honor a remarkable individual, Robert Mange, who has served the Folsom Cordova Unified School District and its students in various capacities since 1972. Thank you, Bob, for your service educating the youth of our community. Thank you to Joe Gagliardi for your leadership in the community and for keeping us informed on the many ways Bob continues to give back to our community through his service with the Rotary Club of Folsom, as well as his continued service with FCUSD. It is partnerships like the one FCUSD shares with the Chamber of Commerce, the Rotary Club, and the city of Folsom that helps build networks of support for education. I would like to thank the voters of Folsom whose support for the Measure G bond allowed for facility renovations across Folsom schools, including the modernization and improvements to the multi-purpose recreational center behind me. This newly remodeled facility will serve the students and members of the community well for many years to come, so naming it the Robert Mange Recreational Center is a perfect fit. Now I'd like to turn the mic over to Superintendent Dr. Sarah Kaligian to share a little more about the extraordinary contributions to education made by Bob Mange.
Well, good evening. It's an honor to be here and to have you celebrating with us on this special evening. Thank you, President Reed, and thank you to everyone who has come out tonight to help us celebrate the renaming of this beautiful facility, which will serve our students and our community for many years to come. I also want to thank and acknowledge Joe Gagliardi, whose vision for honoring Bob inspired us to action and reunited us in today's reception. Great leaders, like our guest of honor, Bob Mange, have guided staff and amplified academic opportunities for quite literally thousands of students throughout the years. Let me share just a little bit more about this extraordinary man. Bob started his career in Folsom, Cordova in 1972 at Folsom High School, where he served as a biology teacher, science department chairperson, varsity baseball coach and school athletic director. He and his wife Sherry raised 3 daughters, all graduates of FCUSD schools. They have 6 grandchildren. 1 is a graduate of Folsom High, and another is currently attending Folsom High School. In 1985, Bob was named Teacher of the Year, both for our district and for Sacramento County. In 1986, he was named the California State Teacher of the Year and went on to the state as one of the 4 finalists at the national level. From 1987 to 1999, Bob was the principal of Folsom Middle School. 1999, he opened Sutter Middle School as the principal. He later worked at the district office as the Director of Research, Testing, and Teacher Professional Development. In 2006, he retired after 34 years of a dedicated service to the Folsom Cordova Unified School District. But wait, there's more. Bob continues to serve the students and staff of FCUSD as a substitute teacher and administrator at schools across the district in both Rancho Cordova and Folsom. Just last week, he was working at Sutter Middle School and has been on campus teaching here at Folsom Middle School this year as well. And we so appreciate your knowledge and experience, Bob. It is safe to say that Bob Mange has provided educational inspiration and academic excellence to thousands of students in FCUSD and over the many generations. So, without further ado, please draw your attention to the top of the building behind me, and we are going to unveil the new signage for the newly named Robert Mange Recreational Center. So I need the audience to participate with me in the countdown before we pull the tarp down tonight. So we'll start with a count of 5. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. So I'd like to now invite our guest of honor, Mr. Robert Mange, to the podium to say a few words. Welcome.
Well, I don't know exactly what to say right now. Besides maybe crying a little bit, but they said I could say a few words, and you know, as teachers, that's not really true. Teachers usually talk a lot, and I'll try to keep it short, brief, and I know that I haven't been able to talk with everyone. Am I close enough? Got to get really close, okay. Thank you. First, I want to thank our district and our city for this dedication ceremony. To me, this is a great honor. And secondly, I want to thank everyone here this evening. As I listened to the accomplishments and successes, it made me realize how lucky I have been. I was lucky when a classmate at Sac State told me that they were looking for a freshman baseball coach at Folsom High School. And I was lucky in finding Folsom High in 1971. He said, it's easy to get there, you just take Folsom Boulevard all the way out, because Highway 50 stopped, and at that time, Highway 50 ended at Sunrise. So I got into my car and I headed out, and I went Sunrise, and I did find Folsom High. And I was very fortunate that I was given the baseball job for the freshman baseball team and also did my student teaching. In 1972, as was mentioned, our principal, Jack Howard, hired me as a science teacher at Folsom High and worked with the outstanding teachers at Folsom High. My master teacher, as some of you out there may remember, was Chuck Chrisman. What a great teacher and a role model he was for me. The first year of teaching, I had a first period preparation period. And you know what I did? I spent the period in his classroom watching him present to his students. Not only did I learn more about how to provide instruction, but I learned how you work with young people because they're the very reason that we're there. And there are many other teachers and staff that taught me so much. They were all part of my successes as a teacher. I'd like to mention some, and maybe at my age I've forgotten a few, but I'd like to just mention Pat Cohn, Eileen Carroll, Dave Marlette, Fred Knowles, Glenn Method, Gig Powers, Rich Kawahata, Don Turner, Mary Mason, Mike Areno, Bill Enos, Sam Popovich, Roy Pierce, Eleanor Vance, Russ Jones, Chris Marino. And of course, there are many others over all the years. But that wasn't the end of where luck stopped for me. I know it's an old adage, and I think it's true. It takes the whole community to raise our children. Students and families in this community are also a large part of any successes I may have had. And here are some of the names of those families and students that I'd like to share with you. The Burgess family, the Motzingers, the Marinos, the Sundemeyers, the Dolans, the Welches, the Rawls, the Economies, the Gagliardis, the McGees, the Houks, the Silvestris, the Sundalls, the Fallons, the LePages, the Worthingtons, the Elliots, the Goodells, the Paratories, the Geislers, the Ellsworths, the Kuntz, the Vossens, the Handys, and there are a number of those family members, those people with different families, so I've got to put families there. The Estachios, the Arenos, the Zittles, and the Greens. A big thank you to those teachers that helped me start my career, the staffs and to the families, and most importantly, those students that I've seen some out here tonight and haven't seen for a while. That's what shaped my educational career as well as my involvement in the community. And last but not least, my biggest thanks goes to a group sitting right down here. I call that my family. Daughter Brooke, son-in-law Brian, granddaughter Macy, daughter Brittany, granddaughter Isabella, daughter Brandy, son-in-law Patrick, grandsons Taylor, Carter, and Brady. And of course my wife, she said, don't say that lovely person, but she is, Sharon. In closing, I have to tell you that the Ho family was also a lucky thing in my life because one of our daughters had not been doing well in her life science class when she was at Folsom High. I never had to have a parent conference. I knew I needed to have a parent conference with her mother. But you know, I had my parent conference. What I found there was a single mom with 3 daughters. And about a year later, we were married, and that was 41 years ago. Thank you, Sharon. Again, a big thanks to everyone here. And now you know why I feel like I'm the luckiest guy in this world. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.
How about another round of applause for Bob Mange? All right, well, next here is, I'm going to introduce our Chief Operating Officer, Matt Washburn, to tell you a little bit about the nuts and bolts of the facility And for those who would like to see what it looks like on the inside, you'll have that opportunity as well.
Thank you. What a great honor to have to follow that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the building, some of the past projects that have happened. As you know, there's been many improvements that have happened to Folsom Middle School over the years. Some of you may have known at one time Folsom Middle School was actually planned to be the high school. It's the next high school before Folsom High was built. So there was some original big, large plans of a large auditorium and gymnasium. But with the assistance of Measure J and Folsom City Bond, a two-story classroom building and the multi-purpose building behind you was built in 1995. In 1997, working with Bob himself, we did a lot of site improvements on this campus, as well as adding some play fields. And after that was Measure C in 2002, with the city helped pass that, which actually built the gymnasium, which is part of what's being dedicated for Bob today. There's a new gymnasium, exercise room, locker rooms, a new track and field was built out here. A lot of old portables. I'm sure Bob remembers how those old portables against the street were out there, how ugly that was. Those were all removed and replaced. Landscaping, walkways. In the last 5 years, a lot of HVAC projects have been completed on the campus. More portables have been added to allow for new growth. And then in 2014, as President Reed mentioned, there was a Measure G bond was passed to make further improvements to the facility, including the multi-purpose room, a brand new state-of-the-art music choir room, stage with improvements to that in the multi itself, and a brand new PE room as well. Also, there was other improvements to the restrooms in the lobby and the two-story building. After this, if we would like, we're going to have everybody come in. If you would like to, I can lead you through the building, and you can see some of the new improvements into the multi-purpose, the PE room, and to the music and choir room. With that, thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, everybody, for coming out tonight. The night is not over. For those of you who would like to see what the inside looks like, and really the bathrooms are amazing, so you got to check them out. Please go ahead and follow Mr. Washburn. He's right over there by the snacks. Don't forget to pick up a program if you haven't already. Those are for you to take home. For those of you who are done, enjoy visiting with one another, getting to know how each other knows Bob Mange. And again, we're really appreciative of your presence tonight, for coming out. So once again, a big round of applause for Bob Mange and for everybody who's come out tonight. Thank you so much.